All right, so now let's move on and let's talk about this rumor that's been floating around from Slasher Effect. So Slasher Effect, I'm just like, well, it says Sin Stealth. They basically is reporting this. So take it with a grain of salt. It's not necessarily like Hollow Reporter, Deadline, all these other things, but there is a rumor, and I saw this over. I was trying to look for it on the Twitter. That's what I like to call it. But apparently it was on the Instagram. So we'll just use this one. So yeah, so they're saying that according to Cineself, Jamie Lee Curtis is in negotiations to reprise her iconic role as Laurie Strode in a new project from a Halloween franchise. Okay, so can we talk? Because I'm just gonna have to say, as much as I love Jamie Lee Curtis, I honestly do not think that this is a good idea because as much as I love Jamie Lee Curtis, like I love her in the original Halloween. Halloween 2 has its moments, although I hated that wig, but I understand she cut her hair and they had to slap a wig on her in the second film. So, with all that being said, I tolerated Halloween 2 because I love the hospital setting and everything else that was going on up in there. They had some pretty gnarly kills. And I have a love-hate relationship with that movie. Halloween 3, I know that's one of those movies that people like. I like it too. Um, then we had Halloween 4, which I actually love. It was supposed to be like a direct sequel to, I believe, Halloween 2 or something or another. And it's like, then we get Jamie Lloyd and that sort of thing. My question would be, how do we bring her back after what happened in the events of Halloween Ends, which I know divides a lot of people, and we talked about this many times on the show, where it was just like, okay, so why are we making, how do you go from Halloween 2018, which was great, the way that they did that, and it was like a direct sequel to the original movie, and then we got like Halloween Kills, which I know some people have a love hate relationship with because it's like the Empire Strikes Back of the franchise. It's just basically I was about to say Michael Jackson, Michael Myers going ape crap and just basically full on Terminator because he's trying to get to his childhood home, which has been bought by a gay couple. And then he's basically just killing everybody that gets in his way. Meanwhile, the whole town has gone crazy and wants to basically take out Michael Myers, which I thought was a great idea because it kind of plays into that one sequence that we got from Halloween 4, back when they were trying to get Rachel and Jamie out of town, out of Haddonfield, and she got in with all the guys that were just going on the rampage through Haddonfield and mistakenly shooting people they thought was Michael when it turned out to be some kid from the neighborhood, and how they just basically, so I like that idea of them exploring that. It just got a little silly with the Evil Dies Tonight and all the other stuff. So of course it was just like when you had this great idea, you started to screw up the situation, and then it got a little crazy. Although I did like the kills in that movie. It was just full on Michael Myers going full Terminator. Then we get Halloween Ends, and we sort of like that ending after what happened with Laurie's daughter, and then um she's like, "Oh, I'm coming for you," because there's a version of that where it's like the ending is different, and I've seen that ending is, I think that's, you can actually buy that version, and I have that version that I paid for. I think I have two different versions of Halloween Kills though. So there is a version where it's just like she's calling her daughter Karen. Michael's breathing on the other end, and she's like, "I'm coming for you." And she leaves the hospital, got the knife in the hand and everything, which I believe is the scene that they ended up cutting because it was like whatever. But I actually like that. I was like, "Yeah, we're about to get." Now she's about to go full into Hamilton and take his ass out. Then we fast forward 4 years. I'm like, huh? And she's all of a sudden, she's Britney Spears. She's writing a memoir. She's now like trying to get with the sheriff finally after all these years. And then there's a whole Corey Cunningham story. I'm like, what? Where are we going with this? Now it's a full on Halloween version of Christine, where this boy all of a sudden gets with Michael. And the only way that is like Michael is the energy that keeps jolting to life because he's all wounded, eating animals and homeless people. And now when Corey Cunningham is going around stabbing up people, Michael gets his powers. or the powers of transfer. And then that scene where it was like, it pissed off a lot of the fans. You up in there wrestling, oh, I need this. You go into the cave and you wrestle him for his mask because you need to borrow it so you can kill them damn bullies. Which some people said they don't believe that a bunch of band nerds could be bullies. I'm like, the times have changed. It ain't only just football jocks and stuff or another that's picking on the nerds. The nerds are the new bullies too. Bullies wear many masks. It ain't got nothing to do with, okay, you have to be this stereotypical, I'm a football jock, yeah, therefore I'm a dick. It's like, no, that doesn't always work in that situation. But because, I always got to bring in the whole Halloween thing or why people was pissed. But at this point, I'm just like, you know what? I feel like new stories need to be told. We need a younger Michael Myers. You can tell a story of him in a whole new town going after new people. I'm tired of the whole Michael, Laurie Strode story. I think it's been worked to death. I don't think we need Jamie Lee Curtis in another one of these movies. How many times are you going to give her just due only for us to end up disappointed? I hated the way that I felt that her journey was anticlimactic with Halloween H2O, which in a way, if you want to do another alternate universe, you could kind of dig into that and have her go in. It'd be bring Josh Hartnett back, because remember that was her son in Halloween H2O. You can kind of go in there and continue on that franchise. But I think for the most part, I think the fans in the alternate universe that we're talking about, I think the fans basically they want the Jamie Lloyd story. So I think what they would love to see is let's do a continuation, because fuck Halloween. Halloween 5 was terrible. Don't even get me started on Halloween 6, and don't even get me started on Halloween Resurrection with Busta Rhymes. I hate that damn movie. But the one where they actually went and killed off Jamie and had a new actress come over there because apparently Danielle Harris, I guess, wanted more money or something or another. I mean, she was carrying the franchise on her back because Jamie Lee Curtis didn't want to come back. She wanted to go off and do different things. But so we were ready. We moved on from Miss Curtis, and we was all about Danielle Harris, who has become like my generation scream queen. So especially with her being like, what, she was like 11 or 12 when she did the first movie. So I would love to have seen that story be explored, where we can get more Jamie Lloyd and all that other stuff. But maybe you can have Jamie Lee come in and as Jamie Lloyd's mother in an alternate universe. And I know some people are like, but wait a minute, she has this kid. I was like, look, it's a different story, it's a different timeline. They can play in that wheelhouse. It's a movie. People always act like they watching fucking biographies or biopics. I'm like, y'all do know movies are not real. Stories are not real. Michael Myers is not real. So it's like, if you got to explain something where people can't differentiate a movie from real life, then y'all are a special kind of slow. So y'all can explore that world, or you can explore the Halloween H2O world where it comes to, where it is with Josh Hartnett. You can kind of explore that world, or you can come up with a new idea with Michael Myers in a whole new town with a new cast of kids that he just goes off and kills. Because remember, he is the Shade. He is someone who wants to just go off and kill people for the sake of killing people. He doesn't kill people because, oh, that's my sibling and I want to kill off my family and the bloodline and the thorns shit and all that other crap. It's like, no. He is just a shape. He is the personification of evil. And not everybody that goes around cutting people up has to have a reason or an explanation as to why they're doing what they're doing. So when I was looking at some of the comments, some people said Halloween Ends was a perfect ending to her character. Another person said stop. With Slasher Effect saying never. Look, as long as these Halloween movies make money, they're not going to stop. And people need to understand that it's called show business for a reason, because it's a business that makes money making movies. So as long as there is a hunger for Michael Myers and Halloween, they're going to keep making them. Another person said, I'm thinking it's either the Halloween show in a cameo, we haven't heard anything in a while, or a new video game they have coming out. Oh, I forgot they were supposed to be doing a Halloween TV series. I don't know what's going on with that. Then it said, honestly conflicted about this. I love Laurie, but I feel like it's time to move past her. And how is this going to be a Halloween movie if Michael was grounded to me in the last movie? Well, that is true. They did grind him up like he was ground beef in that end. But you can do, like I said, a different you can always revive somebody with a whole new story. That story was told, it's ended. Now it's time to move on. But I did like the idea that they explored the fact that evil manifests itself and that the power of evil from Michael was transferable to another person. If they would have explored that more and kind of alluded to that in the throughout the trilogy of David Gordon Green's trilogy, I think people would have been able to tolerate that. The fact of the matter was they introduced that whole story a little too late, and the fans for the most part didn't come on board. So while I didn't mind Halloween Ends, I actually like it if it's a solo film, like similar to Season of the Witch, where it's like this solo film, solo idea. But the problem was David Gordon Green, you and your people, you alluded to this being a trilogy of sorts. So you can't just come in and introduce this whole new thing in one movie if you didn't sprinkle it throughout your trilogy, because then we would have been able to receive it a whole lot more if you would have done it that way. So I say all this to say, what do you think of this story? Do you believe that Jamie Lee Curtis could be coming back to reprise her role as Laurie Strode? How do you feel about her coming back if this turns out to be true? Or do you feel like, girl, it is time for you to move on? We don't, as much as we love your character and what you brought to the franchise, and they really haven't like given us that fully realized, satisfying ending to your character, which I feel like they are kind of anticlimactic. I thought in a way that we got it with H2O. The problem was the showdown between her and Michael was way too damn short. That was my only issue with H2O. Although I like everything about H2O, I just felt like I said, that their final showdown, it just felt like, okay, so y'all beating each other up and stuff, and it was like it felt like a 5 minute situation. But I will say, I did love they showdown in the kitchen in Halloween Ends, but it felt tacked on. Like it felt like y'all was so caught up in telling this Corey Cunningham story that you forgot, oh wait, we do have Jamie Lee Curtis a part of this movie. We sidelined her like a damn fool in the second movie, Halloween Kills. How you got her sidelined again in the damn hospital, which y'all did already in Halloween 2. And then in Halloween Ends, you pretty much kind of sideline her a bit again to focus on this new character. But then it's like, okay, the third act, oh, we got like 10 minutes left in this movie. Let's just remember, let's get Laurie and Michael to fuck each other up again. So it just felt like it was a mess. But I did like parts of all those movies. But anyway, so let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.